Well, my friends, I guess we better start this video off with a disclaimer. Just because a YouTuber says something doesn't mean it's necessarily true. We have to do this because I've been blamed many times before for people getting jobs that they didn't want or doing things, and they said, well, that YouTuber over there told me to. And for those guys, don't listen to everything you hear on YouTube. That's the disclaimer, okay? Hello, everyone. How are you? Today we're going to talk about a very, very naughty, dirty word in trucking. A very filthy, filthy thing that some truckers do, and that thing is job hopping, my friends. Yeah, it's come up so much over the course of my YouTube and trucking career that we might as well go ahead and talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. Real quick, before we get into it, I want to give a thank you to Michael Bruce. Michael Bruce for a $5 super thanks on the last video. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that comes by, watches my videos, leaves a like, leaves comments. This joke's getting old. Most of the comments, not all of them. I don't like all of the comments, but most of you guys are pretty damn cool. So, I mean, that ain't bad. That's not the worst thing ever. And while we're on that topic, everybody, I'm not normally the guy to ask for subscribers. I warned you that I was going to annoy the shit out of you with this while we go towards that 10,000 subscriber mark. And we need less than 900 people to subscribe now. And then I can shut up about push the damn subscribe button. So if you're having a good time, if you're here enjoying the video and you have not subscribed yet, help me to shut the fuck up about somebody subscribe to my channel, please, because I won't do it again until we're maybe pushing for 20,000, and then we're pushing for 50,000, then I'll do it, and then we're pushing for 100,000, and then after that I'm just kind of getting greedy, so I'll probably just not tell anybody to push the damn subscribe button. But you know, when you're trying to hit these milestones, it's pretty cool. So today we're gonna talk about, like I said, guys, that filthy, naughty thing, job hopping in trucking. And I'm here to tell you today that you can job hop all you want in trucking. You can. This is a myth. This is one of those things that people made up, and they want you to get all worked up about it, and all these things they want you to worry about. And the reason I bring this up is because people are always busting my balls about job hopping, and they're like, you can't work wherever you want. You didn't have the blessing of the High Council of YouTube Truckers to go get another job. Sir, what are you doing? Are you out of your mind? And I guess these guys will never learn. I do what I want. Okay, cool. I'm glad we got that straightened out for the millionth time. I do whatever I want. But what is this deal about job hopping, right? And you're not allowed to, and you have to work at jobs for a certain amount of time, all that stuff. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I did everything coming into trucking the way they said you couldn't do things in trucking. And here I am 10 years later, still in trucking. But I did it the exact opposite. I don't know how things are now when you're going through trucking school. I haven't been to trucking school for a very long time, but 10 years ago, when I was going through trucking school, they pushed this idea that you have to be an over-the-road truck driver first. Before you can ever get a local job, you have to go out over the road and do over-the-road trucking before any local company will ever hire you for a job. And that's not what I did. I went local first, straight out of trucking school, and I did it. Now, isn't this a weird thing, though? This is going to kind of be part of the theme of this video, what I'm about to say here. Who is coming up with this idea that you have to be an over-the-road truck driver, and then they drill it into trucking students' heads for at least a year before any local company is ever going to hire you? Do you want me to tell you who? I'll tell you who. Trucking companies. That's who's coming up with this shit. Because if they can't lie to you and convince you that you must go over the road first, then how the fuck are they going to get most of us dumb bastards to go over the road trucking? They're just not going to. Now, for me, I know I get grumpy sometimes and all that shit, but I just really like over the road trucking. It is my preference. I don't fucking like being local. It's horrible. You got a 14-hour day that they're going to max out. Normally it's dirty. You can do a lot of construction work and shit like that. And I like to stay nice and pretty while I'm in my truck, as you guys can tell that is definitely one of my biggest priorities. And then you got the commute to work, you got the commute home, and by the time you have any downtime, you're just dead fucking tired. Me, over the road trucking, hell, depending on how the load's going, I might just work a 6-7 hour day. Then I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna play PlayStation. I'm gonna be awake, because nothing sucks more than playing PlayStation when you're half asleep. You're half too tired to play the damn thing. I'm telling you, that's one of the worst things in life. And I just really prefer to be over the road. I still get it every day, guys. Every comment, every day. Not every comment, but every video. Why don't you just go local? Why don't you watch one of my fucking videos? How about that? And learn a little bit about me before you ask me why I won't do the goddamn thing that you insist I have to fucking do. Learn a little bit about me, goddamn. I don't like local trucking, okay? But this, I didn't believe it when I started. I thought that I was going to want to be a local driver forever, and my heart was set on I'm never going to be an over-the-road truck driver when I get my CDL. It's weird how those things change, isn't it? I got my CDL, was doing local jobs, and it was miserable. I just fucking hated it. And then I actually ended up going out over the road. Once I got over being terrified of being in new places all the time, because that took a little while to get used to, I was like, shit, this is kind of way more fun than that. You just do your own fucking thing out here. It's the coolest thing ever. You wake up, I mean, you got pickup and delivery appointments, right? But outside of those, you wake up when you want, you go to bed when you want. I was talking to a friend yesterday. They said they were envious of my sleep schedule. I said, yeah, I'm basically on fucking banker hours at this point. I run between 8 and 5. This morning I didn't get up and do dick till 10 because I was only an hour away from my delivery that was a drop. But my pickup wasn't till 3 p.m. at the earliest, and I'm here at 1 p.m. now. They put me in a door, still showed up early. But that's one of the greatest things about over-the-road trucking, in my opinion. You just do whatever the fuck you want, which is sort of the point of this fucking video. You get a bunch of guys screaming at you that you're a job hopper, that you're not allowed to change jobs. You have to stay there for, and first of all, like, I understand the part where I'm putting my videos out on YouTube. I understand that. And then people get invested in the stories. A lot of times, guys, I'm going to tell you something kind of fucking funny here, right? A lot of times, the people that are my biggest haters were my biggest fans at one point. And then they what am I trying to say? They started this, not relationship with me. They formed like a connection with me that I wasn't really even aware of. I'm just a guy on YouTube, like, just saying shit. I'm sorry if this sounds bad. It shouldn't, but I don't actually know all of you. I really don't. But these guys start to, I mean, god damn, I can't speak. Start to like form this bond with me, and then slowly I can see it coming from a mile away every time it's going to happen. They'll slowly start telling me what I should do as suggestions, and then as time goes on, they get more and more irate that I won't do whatever the fuck it is that they're telling me to do. And then next thing you know, hate video about this guy trucks because he won't do what the fuck I told him. And it's weird. I guess they like think I'm some sort of weird like meat puppet that they control over the fucking internet and tell me what to do. And it's not like that. And I don't know how I got sidetracked with that at all. Where the fuck was I going? Oh yeah, I was saying that I understand that I put out the videos and people get invested in the stories, and it's your God-given right to do that. You can get invested in the stories, right? But people do get way too invested, and then they're going, why is he working there? Why is he doing that? Well, you're here for the ride just as much as I am, motherfucker. Calm down. Sit the fuck down. Have a seat. Relax. Watch the fucking video. It's not the end of the world. I fucking promise you, right? But one of the biggest things I want to talk about in this video is that trucking is packed full of a bunch of delusional motherfuckers. Let me explain, okay? You guys remember that time that I was making fun of Prime? One of the thousands of times I was making fun of Prime because, you know, Prime, they put their LLC on the side of their trucks, and normally they're like a goofy fucking name. It's not an LLC that I would be putting all over the side of my truck. Like, they got some silly ones. Like, Gummy Bear Transport is probably one at Prime. That wouldn't fucking surprise me. They just got some silly fucking names on the side of their trucks. I was passing a Prime truck that said Outlaw Trucking on the side of it, right? That's what I mean about delusional motherfuckers. Outlaw Trucking. Now think about this, all right? If you will, with me for just a minute. This guy's in a truck that goes 62 miles per hour. He's got his ELD running, right? He's got his permit book is all in perfect order. We know where all the permits are. He's got his safety vest on. He's buckled up, driving down the road, and he thinks he's a fucking outlaw. Could you imagine Could you imagine being a prime driver and being like, God damn, I do everything by the book. This is the most gangster shit I have ever seen in my fucking life. But there are people out there that think we're outlaws and we're cowboys and all that stuff. And then they're the ones that run to the internet and flip the fuck out if you don't do exactly what you're told to do by big corporations, you know, the rich people that control us at trucking companies. All of this, every bit of this about like job hopping and all that is completely made up by the trucking companies. Every fucking bit of it. But I mean, it's just so goddamn bizarre, right? We're all a bunch of outlaws and cowboys out here, right? But don't go on the internet and tell somebody you got a truck up to 76 miles per hour, because they will lose their shit. 76, Josh, are you out of your mind? You can't go 76 miles per hour. And don't ever mention that in your off-duty hours, your off-duty hours, you left your truck, you went over to a bar and you had a beer, because those guys will throw a fucking fit then. Guys, we all know cowboys liked a glass of warm milk after they did some cowboy shit too. No, they got drunk as shit. Those guys, they fucking knew how to fucking party. We are not cowboys, and we are not fucking outlaws out here. And everybody is proving that over and over all the fucking time with their candy ass whining about, oh, his truck went 76. Can you believe it? Oh God, 76. Call his safety department. I get guys, I would never rat you guys out. I just think it's fucking funny. I get guys sending me Snapchats of their truck going 80 and shit like that. They're like, call the cops. It's kind of becoming a recurring thing right now. Don't worry, guys. Your secret's safe with me. I'm not going to be like, oh, what trucking company does he work for, or anything like that. I'm never going to mention your names, because you're fucking hilarious, and you should be having a good time while trucking. And if you got that bitch up to 80, fucking Godspeed. Have a good time. Let her roll down that mountain. There's nothing like a truck fucking, you know, coming off a big hill and just fucking rumbling. Now that's fun, baby. And that truck driver out there, he's just having a good time. And I believe at 80 miles per hour, he had that fucker completely under control. He's fine. He's fine. Settle the fuck down, safety dorks. What the hell is going on here? We're all cowboys though, right? We're all cowboys. We're all cowboys, guys, that bow down and bend the knee to corporate propaganda. That's what this whole fucking job hopping thing is. Every goddamn bit of it. We used to have these fucking DAC reports. They still have the DAC report, just not a lot of companies pull the DAC reports anymore. Ask me how I know. I work for a lot of fucking companies, and I got a little driver pulse app, and anytime I apply, sometimes you'll see a company pulled your DAC report. What the fuck is a DAC report? Well, I'll try to explain. It's supposed to be a report that tells like why you left the company, were you terminated, did you leave, are you eligible for rehire, and all these things. And if there's something crazy on there like that you did, then they might have put it on there. Abandoned a truck, that used to be a big deal, probably frowned upon still. I've never abandoned a truck. Close call a few times, but I've never done it. You know, being involved in an accident, things like that that will really fuck with your career, go onto that report. I think mine's clear, so maybe if I'm a little bit off on that, you can help me with that. But all the fucking DAC report is, the only reason that piece of shit exists is so that the industry can blackball you because one guy didn't like the way you quit or whatever, right? I worked for a fucking company that tried to end my trucking career because they were mad that I was quitting. Luckily, it was all good. Here's what they did, right? Because I don't give notice. You don't give fucking notices to these trucking companies. They're not going to get you back to the terminal. They're not going to make sure you get where you need to go. They don't give a fuck about you. So I never give notices. It's always like, okay, I know that I'm going to be back near the terminal around this time. It gets kind of predictable sometimes. And I'm going to go ahead and start applying for this company. We should be able to work out a rough date when I can go work there. So I called the dispatcher one morning and I was like, hey, it was a company out of Salt Lake. Maybe I'll do a video on them sometime. But I am not eligible for rehire there. They told me as much. Don't worry. But I called and I said, hey, I'm bringing the truck back and I'm quitting. I'll be there in like 2 hours. And he goes, but the load planner's already planned you. I said, well, they better plan someone else. I mean, I guess they're going to have to work a little harder today now, aren't they? And he goes, no, you're already planned on loads. You can't quit. I said, yes, I can. He said, you can't quit. I said, put it in writing then. Send it to the Qualcomm. I'm not allowed to quit. Send it, bitch. I fucking dare you. Right? And he goes, well, fuck you then. And I said, well, fuck you too, motherfucker. And I took the truck back. as I was pulling into the terminal, the safety department called me and said, hey, we need you, you've been pulled for a random drug test, we need you to go do that. And I said, I'm quitting. They said, yeah, but you haven't officially quit yet, and we need you to do that drug test, or we got to put that you refused a drug test. So just happened to get pulled for a random drug test, right? Just as I was bringing the truck back in. Of course I did. Of course I did. Well, I went and took their stupid fucking drug test, and away we went. My truck just started shaking. I'm like, what's that? Because a lot of things are dropping hook here. So they're loading me. Can you believe it, guys? I'm like 2 hours early, and they're loading this bitch now. I love being this guy trucks. God damn it. I am just probably the world's most amazing trucker, but definitely the most handsome also. Ask me how I know. My mom, I put a picture up on Facebook, and she said, you're so handsome. And now I know that is a fact, all right? Not everyone's mom would say that about them. Some moms got some ugly ass kids. Mine doesn't. Well, she's got 5. 1 or 2 might be a little, but for the most part, we're all pretty good looking kids. Is that what we're here for? Is that what we're talking about? I don't fucking remember. I'm not really sure. Anyways, they tried to trash my fucking career. They thought I was going to fail a drug test or refuse a drug test. Well, I went and took a drug test on their dime. Who gives a fuck? I'll go take your drug test. But that's sort of what the DAC report is these days, if anybody even uses it. And a lot of trucking companies have gotten away from it because they're like, yeah, there was a time where trucking companies were throwing bullshit on there just to blackball your ass, and that's all they were fucking doing. So a lot of companies got away from it, right? Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that this is all made up. We still got remember I was talking about he's gonna hate me for this, but hey, if you're gonna talk in my comment section, then I get something to say out of it, and that's just the way this works. But the recruiter that got a little big for his britches in the comment section, and he's like, if you keep job hopping, companies aren't gonna hire you. Look, I've actually had somebody ask me this question too. I'll answer it. I have been truck driving for 10 years. Hell, if I were to guess, I work for 30 fucking companies. I don't know. It's up there. It's fucking up there, right? So people say, have you ever been told that we can't hire you because you've had too many jobs? And the answer to that is yes. 2 times. 2 companies have told me that they won't give me a job because I've had too many jobs. Which is weird, because aren't you hiring people with CDLs? But whatever, it's your business, right? Those 2 companies, I'll tell you who they are. Central Oregon, the flatbedding company out of Central Oregon, get it? They told me no. And John Christner, who's owned by Hirschbach now. John Christner, I talked to them when I went over to Western Flyer. They said, if you can stay at a job for like 6 months, you'll be good. And I've done that, obviously. But then I went a different route anyways, which is okay. But twice only ever have I been told that we can't go work here. The companies that we're really concerned about this, guys, I would take a look at what they're saying. I mean, why are they so worried about how many jobs you've had, right? There must be some reason for that. It's because they, as trucking companies, don't want to get better. You understand, like, I'm not so naive that I don't realize that we're getting ripped the fuck off out here. You guys think I don't know that? We're not making near the money that we should. I am speaking for you company drivers. You guys get all pissed off at me when I start saying, hey, truck drivers should probably make more money. No, they shouldn't, Josh. Maybe they should grab their bootstraps and get to work. I just said truck drivers, dipshit. The guys driving the fucking trucks deserve to make a good living. Do you have an argument to that? They need to work harder. We can't. We can't. Government mandated. We fucking can't. What do you want from me? I can't help you with this. Anyways, I know I have a fucking point. They don't want to get better as a company. So they want to hire people that will stick with them through all the bullshit, right? So if they don't want to get better, they want somebody that really truly believes that you can only have so many jobs in trucking, right? That truly believes you will lock yourself out of this industry if you work at too many places. They want somebody just smart enough to operate that truck, but just dumb enough to believe their bullshit, all right? And I'm not calling you dumb for believing it. I'm saying have a look at it. Why do they care so much about how many jobs you have? Because they want you to think that you can't move on. They want you to think that you have to stay with them. They don't have to do better for you. They don't have to make sure that they're getting the miles. They want you to feel like you're trapped in that truck. And that's why the fuck they do that. So we got this, like I was saying, this recruiter. He's kind of a little bit hostile, but that's okay. You know, recruiters get real grumpy. They just sit there in their little office all day, filing paperwork, you know, busy work, just stuff to make them feel like they're doing something, right? But he said, you would never get a job at my trucking company. I would never allow it. And that's okay. I wasn't looking at your trucking company anyways. I don't know who his trucking company is. Even if I did, I wouldn't put it out on a video. He's just a recruiter that's on a little bit of a power trip. That's all that's going on here. It's a little bit of a power trip. And that is, I guess, broader point of the video. I think that's why a lot of people get so frustrated with old This Guy Trucks here on YouTube. Once you let people know, other people know that they don't have control over you, it really starts to piss them off, right? Because that's what people want, is to tell you what to do and make sure that they're in control of all of your decisions. And that is where all of this whole bullshit comes from. It's all about control. It's all about telling you what you can or can't do. So with all that said, I'm not saying do what I do. Right? I'm not saying make a habit of job hopping. As a matter of fact, I am really enjoying what I'm doing right now. I really am. We'll talk about this company when I get to a month. I want to fill it out for a month. But like I said, I looked at them like 3 years ago. Didn't pull the trigger on it then because of other life circumstances. And now I was finally able to do it. And I really feel like I made a good fucking decision. And if I'm right about that, my friends, then this company doesn't need to worry about me going and job hopping. They don't need to. They got my truck running. We're going down the road and we're making money. Shit, I'm happy. I'm good with that. And that's all I've ever been out here for. But, my friends, I am in control of my own goddamn life. I am. I mean, we had that guy in a couple videos ago on the Swift videos insisting that I was lying that I quit Swift because they have a contract. I don't give a shit about their contract. Oh, we got a bunch of words written on paper. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? And there are things that can be done to enforce contracts, but it's not really that fucking bad. It's, you know, what are we talking about here? You can't hold me hostage in the truck. You can't do any bullshit like that. All you can do is take that shit to court. And then, you know, I can go into court too and plead my case. How the fuck did you want me? And I don't remember the specifics of the Swift lease. I'm not trying to target Swift specifically. I'm just saying contracts in general are, in trucking, kind of fucking useless, if I'm being honest with you. They're not going to enforce the fucking things. You can go do whatever the fuck you want to do, right? Seriously, there's not one of us out here that is fucking trapped unless you've done other stupid things. Because I know that I also get the comments sometimes. People go, Josh, I'm a job hopper too and no one will hire me. What's going on? There's something else there. Don't put all your business on the internet. I'm not asking you to do that. But I can almost with 100% certainty guarantee that job hopping was not a fucking issue. There's something there. There's some accidents in there maybe. That'd be it. That'd be about, well, like maybe a DUI or you can't pass a drug test or any number of things like that. But there is something else to that, why you can't get a job. Because I mean, I've worked, I've chilled out quite a bit, if I'm being honest with you guys. I know it doesn't always seem like it. It used to be like 3 months and I was out the door. 3 months, new job, here we go again. And a lot of that, honestly, was chasing their sign-on bonus. Serious. What, you don't want a lowly blue collar guy getting a little over on the rich companies every once in a while? A lot of times I'd go there and I'd work there till the sign-on bonus was paid out and I'd go work somewhere else. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? I worked here for your signing bonus. Now leave me the fuck alone, all right? And that's how I did it. I don't care. But what am I supposed to, like, give a fuck about their feelings? But that's all I'm saying. All of this, I'm almost done. I'm almost going to shut the fuck up. But all of this is completely made up by the trucking companies to keep control over you. And the saddest part about all of it, you know, the truckers, the last of the cowboys, right? The real outlaws are falling in line to fucking just say, hell yeah, we have to work at their company for a certain amount of time. We have to, because those are the fucking rules. And that doesn't sound like something a fucking cowboy would do to me at all. Bye now.